What's up guys, good morning. What's up guys, Petko here. Today we're gonna talk about Mythic Plus guide because you guys been asking me for so long, hey Petko, when is the guide coming out? Well, it is finally here. We're gonna talk about builds, what builds am I playing and why. We're gonna talk about talents, stats, trinkets, what to craft, when to craft, embellishments, enchants, gems, what footage should be taken, potions, files, rotation, beast gear, single target, AoE, 2 targets, 3 targets, everything. Pretty much what you guys have been asking me on Discord, on Patreon, on Twitch, on YouTube. So I did my best to summarize everything together and combine this into a guide that's gonna help you out until the end of the season pretty much. So we hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you do, make sure to hit the like button. But before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to Ocean Remote for sponsoring the video. Ocean is the app that allows you to remotely access your PC from a range of devices with Windows, iOS, Android. Never again be afraid of missing out on things whenever you are. With Ocean, you can play video games, transfer files, screen mirror, or work on your computer while using a different computer or mobile device. Ocean offers 3 different payment plans to best fit your needs, with one being free, but also offering a plan for the most dedicated of gamers with such things as full support of gaming peripherals and 144 frames per second. Top all of it, you can equip yourself with a smart power plug, allowing you to start your PC remotely as well. Don't waste money on power bill, leaving your PC constantly running. Start with a single touch of phone wherever you are about the game on a go. Currently we're offering hot sale with 40% off for Pro and game versions, 40% off for 2 devices, and 40% off for 3 devices. The best part is, the app is fully compatible with terms of service from Blizzard. Therefore, you can use this app to be able to play WoW on your phone. The first 200 people that download the app using my code will get a 7 days free trial on the Ocean game mode trial. Now, without further ado, let's jump back to the guide. Alright, so let's talk about builds. Now this has been a very hot topic. What builds should I play for Mythic Plus? In my opinion, there are 2 builds. The first build is called the Fire build, aka the LMT Liquid Magma Torrent build that I play myself, the best one in my opinion. And the other one called the Lightning build, which pretty much is like echoes of the Great Sundering, Legendary, a talent plus Elemental Blast, which I think is okay for low keys, but I don't think it's good enough on the high keys. That's why I recommend you guys to play my build, aka the Fire build, aka the Superior build. Now, going about talents, again, what you see on screen is going to be the best talents overall for Tyrannical Weeks. 45 doesn't really matter. I wouldn't switch anything else. The only switch I could make possibly on Tyrannical Weeks, if you're struggling with single target, maybe go with Elemental Blast instead of, for example, 1 point in Searing Flames. This can help you single target a little bit better, but it's gonna sacrifice a bit of AoE. But overall, that's what I want to go for. For the general talents on Shaman, you can do whatever you want. In some cases, you might want to get stunned. In other cases, you want to get, for example, Hex or any other thing that you want. That's perfectly fine. They're pretty much optional. Just make sure to have the same talents as you see on the screen in front of you. All right, so what stats should I go for? I think that has been a very wild topic. I'm gonna go for it and I'm gonna debunk all the myths. First of all, haste is the most important thing to go for. It's gonna make you burst a lot faster, global cooldowns shorter, and it's gonna feel a lot more smoother to play. I myself aim between 25 each haste is a good amount in my opinion. So 20 to 25 haste, insanely good. And then I go for crit equals verse. Crit verse in my opinion share the same value. The higher the key you play, the better verse becomes for you. So my keys, for example, 21s and 22s and 23s, I go for more verse than crit. On the lower end keys, 15 and above, maybe crit has more value than verse. But generally, crit does a bit more damage than verse in general. I prefer haste, crit, verse, and mastery at the end. Mastery with the Fire build is completely useless stat. Doesn't really matter. Just remove mastery. About trinkets, I think there are 3 good trinkets, as I already mentioned. Infernal Writ is likely one of your best choices. It drops from Court of Stars. Second trinket, the Rage Feather, drops from Knockout Offensive. And third trinket is really good from Halls of Valor, Isles of Out. Those 3 trinkets are really good. If I had to pick only 2, I'm probably gonna go for Infernal Writ from Court of Stars and the Rage Feather trinket from Knockout Offensive. So about craftings, what you should be crafting, I think the best thing to craft right now is your necklace, Lariat, obviously. I will go for either haste or verse proc either. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Second thing to craft is probably gonna be weapons. So one-hander, shield, two-hander, whatever. And fourth, fifth crafting is gonna be probably bracer, waist, or a ring would make most sense. Embellishment, bronze grip is the best embellishment for you, DPS wise. Second embellishment, I went for well fed, so whenever I die, my buff never goes away. That is pretty much to save me gold, and also because I wipe a lot in Mythic Plus and I die a lot, so naturally I want to keep my intellect back. Alright, so what kind of food you should be eating? Obviously primary stat is going to be the best food you want to get for. The only food that gives primary stat and it's pretty cheap is Fated Fortune Cookie. If you don't have that one, you can go for example for either haste or verse or crit food. Either of those three is going to be amazing for you. Files, you always want to play Glitch of 35 for Mythic Plus, rank 3 if possible. And potions, you always want to play Elemental, Potion of Power everywhere. So when it comes to beast gear, there isn't really any kind of beast gear you wanna fit. You wanna acquire higher item level loot pieces from Mythic Plus rating, and you wanna upgrade them to max high level. Just make sure that you're going for a tier set. You want to have 2 pieces at least. 4 pieces is kind of okay still, but 2 pieces definitely must have. It's going to increase your performance by a while. So definitely I wouldn't say there's any specific bits except trinkets you want to go for, and craftings, for example the neck and the weapons and shields, whatever. But generally there shouldn't be anything that you should be worrying about if you should go for it or not. So yeah, definitely go for the high at the level stuff. Alright, so about rotation, I think this is gonna be the most hot stuff. I'm gonna try to make it clear, quick, so you guys can understand me. I want to talk about AoE. Now what I consider AoE, 4 or more targets. What is AoE? The main goal is to keep flame shocks up to 6 targets if you can. Spend your Maelstrom on earthquakes. Try to empower them with mastered elements. Try to get your surge of power for chain lightnings. If you're fighting less than 5 targets, surge of power has almost no value unless you want to duplicate flame shocks and help your flame shock. Mastered elements sometimes can be useful for earthquake. Sometimes you just cannot do it because you have too much Maelstrom. One advice, never overcap on Maelstrom. Second advice, never ever get into the pack late. Third advice, make sure to have Maelstrom for every single pool once you enter the pool. TLDR, what to do. First thing, you always want to precast Stormkeeper. Very basic thing, you don't want to lose time in between the pools. Second thing, you want to precast your Elemental. Why? Because you always have Elemental every single pool because you're playing Skybreaker. So pre-Elemental, pre-Stormkeeper, following by always Flame Shock, LMT, Primordial Wave. That's it. Flame Shock, LMT, Primordial Wave. Super easy. Why Flame Shock first? Because when you apply Flame Shock, it goes on cooldown, has 5 seconds cooldown. These 5 seconds, you can cast LMT, you can cast your Primordial Wave, and by the time this is gonna get probably ready. Let's go ahead. So, as you can see, I put Elemental here, and I didn't have enough time to cast my Flame Shock, so I just put Elemental, put Stormkeeper. I'm already late to the party. I should have my Stormkeeper ready by then, but that's okay. Look at this. I LMT first. It's definitely not optimal gameplay, but because mobs are really stacked together, I want to get the best use out of my LMT. Sometimes I'm going to wait until tank stacks the mobs and then I use my LMT because it's uncapped damage pretty much. So you want to kind of use the damage from it to the full potential. But as you can see, I never ever trigger my level surge before every single mob has Flame Shock, or at least most of the mobs. So LMT, Primordial Wave, Flame Shock, everything else has Flame Shocks mostly, and then I spend my chain lightnings until I get a proc. As you can see, I get a proc. I spend my earthquakes back to back because I want to have 0 Maelstrom, because once I trigger the level surge, I'll get max Maelstrom. Look at this, level surge up, almost max Maelstrom obviously, and I just spend my chain lightnings from the Stormkeeper, and that's your burst pretty much. And then from there onwards, it's chain lightning, lava surge, earthquake, chain lightning, lava surge, earthquake. That's it. You totemic recall for second LMT. I usually keep it for next pack. I don't use it on the same pack again, and I try to keep more my Flame Shocks up to date. What happens if you already procs? Nothing. You keep on your rotation. What happens when you fight 5 targets? What should I do with my surge power? Nothing. Ignore them. doesn't really matter. Anything important? I think that's everything TLDR. Obviously I can go in 10-minute discussion, but I think that's the most important, straight to the point stuff for AoE. Now second target is a bit more complicated. You want to utilize your surge of powers or lightning bolts. You want to buff your lightning bolts or chokes with mastered elements. You want to use your Power of the Maelstrom for lightning bolts pretty much. Keep in mind, surge of power can also buff your Stormkeeper, so you can disconnect overlap together. And you definitely don't want to sit on 100 Maelstroms, so try to spend them as much as you can. One thing to keep in mind is LMT has almost no value in NST, so maybe you want to keep it for 2 targets, maybe if there's a mob coming up or for an expo, and never ever sit on 2 stacks Lava Burst. During Ascendance proc, one thing to keep in mind is you always want to send it on cooldown, your Lava Burst, but also it's very important for you to make sure that you never sit on 5 stacks of your 2 set bonus. So always use the bonus as soon as you have it available on 5 stacks, or Magma Chamber shouldn't go above 20 stacks too. Magma Chamber was this in the middle right here. It takes increase the damage of your Earthshock or Earthquake depending on how many Freedom Shocks you have available on yourself. And that's pretty much for single target. Again, if there's high interest, I can go deeper into the guide and explain 2 targets and 3 targets. A bit more complicated, but I think that's gonna cover majority of the guide. If you guys are interested as well, you guys can check out our Patreon, where we offer a lot more advanced min-maxing guides, or actually coachings in general. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you follow us on stream and on YouTube, because we're gonna pump a lot more guides coming your way as soon as we can. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out, and thank you for watching.